Okay, so we will start with the lab 22 now. So lab 22 says that we have to create and manage a catalog of resources in Microsoft Entra Entitlement Manager. Entitlement Management. So let's get started. Exercise 1 is building out resources in Entitlement Management, and from which the task 1 is create a catalog. So for this we will have to go to the Microsoft Entra ID, which we are already here. So after that we will go to identity governance on the left hand side here. Then entitlement management. Under ID governance, entitlement management, then we will go to catalogs. Then we will click on new catalog at the top here. We will enter the name marketing. And the description we will write down for marketing department users. We will make sure it's enabled. Then for external users, we will make sure it's disabled. And then create. That completes the task 1. Task 2 says add resource to a catalog. So we have already created a catalog, but we haven't added any resource to it. So I think we will do that now in this task. So we will click on the marketing catalog that we just created, and under that, under manage, we will go to resource. Then add resource from the top. Then we will add, in the group and team, we will add retail here. Application is going to be Salesforce. And in the SharePoint side, we will click on brand, then select, and the field is being populated here, and then we will click on add. And that is the end of task 3. Sorry, task 2. Task 3 says add additional catalog owners. So we will go back to catalogs. So we have to go back to our application. Then under manage, we will click on roles and administrator. At the top, we will add a catalog owner, and we will be assigning these to a deal Vance, and then select. And that is pretty much it for task 3. Task 4 says we will have to edit a catalog. So I'm assuming we are editing this catalog that we just created. So I will click on overview here, and here we have the option of editing it. So if I click on this, it should allow us to edit the catalog, change the name, description, the settings. And if you want to enable it for external users, I'm just going to say yes and save. And that's pretty much how easy it is to edit the catalog. And that brings us to task 5. Task 5 says create access reviews for guest users. So we will be going back to ID governance, then access reviews. So ID governance, access reviews. Then we will click on new access review. Then we will drop down this menu of select what to review, and we will select teams plus groups. And under the review scope, we will click on all Microsoft 365 groups with guest users. And under the scope, guest user only is already selected, so that's great. And we will move on to the reviews. So under reviewers, we will click on group owners. And we have a note here in the lab which says guest users should not be allowed to review their own access as a good identity governance practice. And in the duration, we have 3, so that should be fine. And in the review reoccurrence, we will click on let's select weekly because it does not mention what we have to select. It just says you can select whatever you want. So I'm just doing, maybe weekly is going to be too much work, so I'll just do monthly. Then we can select a start date, which is the day today, and then we will move on to settings. So this is where I think we will be configuring what will happen if the reviewers don't respond, or what will be the auto apply results will be. So we can just select if the reviewers don't respond, we can remove access. and then we will select review and create. Then we will create. And that is created, and that is the end of task 5. Task 6 says that we'll be deleting a catalog. So I assume that if we go into catalogs here, then we can see whatever catalog we have. We can just click on it and delete it from the top here. And if we click on delete, it says that all resources onboarded will be deleted, and we will select no for now. And that's pretty much it for this lab. With this, lab 22 has been completed. We will move on to lab 23 in the next video.